I was the personal assistant for a secret billionaire. What he asked me to do on his deathbed changed my life. Working as a personal assistant for Mr. Reynolds, I thought I knew what to expect: long hours, countless coffee runs, and dealing with the occasional tantrum from a wealthy executive. What I didn't expect was discovering my boss was actually one of the wealthiest men in America, a fact he kept hidden from almost everyone from the outside. Mr. Reynolds looked like a moderately successful business consultant. He drove a 5-year-old Toyota, lived in a modest home in a middle-class neighborhood, and wore suits from department stores. I only discovered the truth when I had to organize his financial documents for a medical insurance claim. The numbers I saw made me dizzy. Holdings worth billions spread across investments, real estate, and enterprises around the world. When I accidentally mentioned a figure I'd seen, he simply smiled and said, "Money is a tool, Melissa, not an identity." For 3 years, I watched him live by this philosophy. He'd anonymously pay for strangers' medical bills, fund community programs, and create scholarships, all while living on less than 1% of his annual interest. Nobody knew, except his lawyer, his accountant, and now me. Then came the cancer diagnosis, terminal 6 months, maybe less. As his health deteriorated, I became his caretaker, confidant, and eventually the executor of his final wishes. 2 weeks before he died, he called me to his bedside. "Melissa," he whispered, his voice weaker than I'd ever heard it. "All of what? Everything. The money, all of it." He handed me a folder. "These are the organizations. They don't know what's coming. I want to see their faces when they find out." For the next 2 weeks, we arranged video calls with directors of small charities fighting climate change, rare diseases, educational inequality causes he'd researched for years. I'd connect the call, and Mr. Reynolds would tell them they were receiving between $50 minus $200 million. Their reactions, disbelief, tears, stunned silence gave him more joy than any luxury ever had. The morning he died, he made one final request. "Here is $10 million for you in my will," he told me. "But here's a condition. You can't keep more than you need." He passed away that night at 31. I suddenly had more money than I'd ever imagined. I paid off my student loans, bought a modest house, set up college funds for my nieces, and invested enough to support myself comfortably. The rest, over $8 million, I've spent the last 3 years giving away, trying to find that same joy Mr. Reynolds found in his final days. Wrapped out, he left me with something far more valuable than money: purpose. The billionaire nobody knew taught me that true wealth isn't what you keep, it's what you give when no one's watching.